So to start off initially, you need to wipe the windshield area using a clean cloth or a tissue. Following that, take the electrostatic sticker and remove the first part of the one side of the sticker. Then place the sticker on the windshield and adapt it to the surface of the windshield by wiping your finger across it. You might find a few air bubbles here and there, but that shouldn't be a matter of concern. Once you've done that, peel the other side of the electrostatic sticker. Following this, take a compatible VIOFO micro SD card and insert it into the VIOFO dash camera. You will hear a clicking sound. Following that, remove the lens cover or the lens protective cover. Then also remove the 3M covering tape over the windshield mounting adapter. Once that is done, adapt the dash camera onto the electrostatic sticker and place it gently. Then press around the sticker so that it adapts firmly well onto the windshield. Following this, you need to remove the dash camera from the windshield mount and then take up the CPL filter. Remove the lens protective covering on top of the CPL filter and note the white line on top of the CPL filter and align it with the white line on the dash camera. Gently plug it in and fit it firmly on top of the lens. Following that, wipe the CPL filter using a cloth or a soft tissue. Then place the camera back onto the windshield mount and most of the work is quite done now. Then take the USB power cable, the Type-C cable and insert the Type-C port into the dash camera. Following this, take the rear camera coaxial cable and insert into the rear camera port. Then you need to take the VIOFO 12 volt car charging adapter and plug in the USB port of the dash camera. Head back onto the rear windshield and clean the windshield area using a soft cloth. Repeat the same process using the electrostatic sticker and stick the sticker where you want to mount the rear dash camera. Sticking process is similar to what you have done on the front windshield, and once the sticker adapts firmly, remove the second layer from the top of the electrostatic sticker. Following this, remove the protective seal or the protective covering from the lens of the rear camera along with the 3M sticker covering tape. Then adapt the 3M sticker of the rear camera onto the electrostatic sticker and press around the camera gently for firm adhesion. Then take the rear camera coaxial cable and insert it into the V out port of the rear camera. Following this, open up the VIOFO dash camera app on your smartphone and head into the Wi-Fi settings. Select the Wi-Fi network of the VIOFO dash camera and enter the default password. Once the dash camera connects, head back onto the app. Following this, adjust the orientation of the lens while looking at the app so that you get a proper horizontal orientation and the proper location of the camera lens. Then, in case the reverse camera is inverted, head into the settings of the app and invert the reverse camera image using the in-app settings. Following this, also adjust the CPL filter slightly to the left or right based on your requirements so that all reflections and glare are removed out. You can do this while taking a look at the live view within the VIOFO app. Now your VIOFO A139 Pro dash camera is ready for use. So here are the in-app settings for the VIOFO A139 Pro. So this is a very important aspect and this will give you a proper overview of what this camera is capable of. So starting with the first option, this is the video resolution. So this indicates all the resolutions in which this camera can shoot videos, and if I go ahead and click on that, it opens up a menu wherein it gives you all the options and all the different various resolutions this camera can really shoot at. The one thing to note about this is that the rear camera is standard at 1080p 30 fps in all the various options, so there is no change in the resolution or the frame rate of the rear camera. Only the front camera resolution and the frame rate will keep on changing. So first of all, you have a 4K 2160p at 30 frames per second. Then following this, you have the 4K 1600p at 30 frames per second. And the next important option is it supports 2K recording at 1440p at a 60 frames per second. Now this is very important because a higher frame rate is going to give you a more smoother video. Following this, you also have an option of 2K 1440p at 30 frames per second. So this is the lowest you can go, and this is going to give you the lowest file size, which means you can write for a longer period of time in the micro SD card. So it has these 4 different options for shooting for the front dash camera, and this is something very important which you should be knowing about. So following the video resolution option, you have the loop recording option, and if I click on that, you again get certain options, which means you can turn off the loop recording entirely, or you can keep the loop recording for 1 minute, 2 minutes, and you can drag the video up to 10 minutes based on your requirement. So currently I'll keep it at 1 minute. Following this, the next option is the recording audio option. So this enables or disables the mic, and you have a flip switch right here.
so you can do that as well. So you have the exposure value for the front. If you feel the brightness or the exposure of the front camera is slightly less, you can increase that value, or of course you can also decrease it if you feel it is very bright. So you have the setting from -2 up to +2. So this is also a very impressive thing to have for a dash camera. In a similar way, you have also the exposure value for the interior cam and exposure value for the rear cam. Following this, you have a HDR option, that is high dynamic range. You can completely turn it off, you can turn it on or keep it on auto. So currently I'll keep it on. So following this, you have the auto HDR time. So this means if you have set HDR at auto settings, you can select the time for which the HDR should turn on, and it will automatically turn off the HDR once that particular time passes. Then you have the G sensor option for recording emergency videos. You can select it at medium, high or low sensitivity. So following this, you have the date stamp, which means it is going to print a date and timestamp on top of the video. You can enable or disable that. Then you have a very important option called as the bitrate. So if you click on that, you have various options such as low, normal, high or maximum. So this bitrate is basically the amount of data the video captures while it is recording. So if you want the highest quality videos, you need to select the maximum bitrate, but again this is going to take a lot of space on the memory card. Then you have the time-lapse recording. You can turn it off or you can keep time-lapse 1 frame per second up to 10 frames per second. Following this, you have the Wi-Fi channel option. Now this camera supports a 5 GHz network, which is the current fastest Wi-Fi network available. So you can select a 5 GHz network, you can select 2.4 GHz, which is a standard Wi-Fi network, and of course you can turn it off completely. Following this, you have the time zone option in order to select the time zone which is appropriate for your geographical location. Then you have the time synchronization option, which synchronizes the time of the dash cam with your smartphone. You have the date format, and currently it is set at DDMMYY. So following this, you have a boot delay option, which means you can delay the time after which the dash camera turns on once the car also turns on. You can set it off or you can set it up to 5 to 10 seconds based on your requirement. Then you have the infrared LED option, you have the parking mode option. So this parking mode can be enabled once you have installed the compatible hardware kit. You have the parking recording timer and parking mode timer. All this comes after installing the hardware kit, which I'm going to do in one of the follow-up videos. Then following this, you have another important option, that is the front image rotate. So you can rotate the image of the front dash camera in case if you have turned the camera towards the cabin and you want to rotate the image. You have the interior image rotate. Now this will apply to the interior cam, which we are not using right now. Following this, you have the rear image rotate option. So currently I'm using this because I have installed the rear camera. Then following this, you have the interior camera mirroring option, rear camera mirroring option. So then you have the notification sounds option. So currently it is set at all on. So if I just click on that, you have certain options such as you can turn off all the notification sounds, you can keep the button beep only, you can keep the startup sound only, or you can keep all on. So currently I'll set it at startup sound only. If you don't want to be bothered by the notification sounds, you can completely turn it off. Following this, you have the GPS option, wherein you can enable or disable the GPS coordinates. You have the speed unit option where you can select kilometers per hour or miles per hour. Then the GPS info stamp option. In this, you can select either the speed and coordinates, or if you only want speed to be displayed, you can have the only speed, or if you want only the coordinates to be displayed and not the speed of the car, you can select only coordinates, or if you want to completely turn it off, you can turn it off. So a lot of customization options are available in this. Then you have the camera model stamp. So this will enable or disable writing the camera name on the video recorded. Following this, you have the frequency of the video, that is 50 Hz or 60 Hz. Then you have the voice notification language. Currently it is set at English, and the voice notification volume is set at high. Then you have the format SD card option for formatting the micro SD card. Then you have the reset camera setting to reset the camera to factory settings. Following this, you have the Wi-Fi name SSID. You can change the Wi-Fi name based on your requirement, and the Wi-Fi password also can be changed via these settings. Then you have the Wi-Fi station configuration. Then you also have a custom text stamp, wherein you can type your custom text to be displayed on the dash camera video. Then you have the car license number, which can also be displayed on the video. And following this, it shows the current free space on the micro SD card. Lastly guys, you have the app version, and it displays the current version of the app, and also displays the current firmware of the dash camera. So these were the important in-app settings for this dash camera.